This is a LiveEcoStyle production.
All right, good Friday, everybody. This is Old Uncle Randy, and this is LiveEcoStyle's The Eco Minute. And the Friday is bursting out all over, and we are traveling all over the country today. And our first stop this morning is going to be out in New Hampshire. And this is a website you have to go to. It's called Cathedral Ledge Distillery. And I have joining with me today to tell us all about this beautiful, beautiful location. One of the places I've never gone to in my world is in New Hampshire, one of the few states I have left to go. But Christopher Burt, owner, along with his wife, is apparently got a lot of metal hanging out in this building that's gorgeous behind him, and he's going to send us some pictures that we can put up on this production. But anyway, Christopher, how you doing, sir?
Doing well. So,
yeah, a lot of organic things going on out there, vodka and all kinds of different products. And so you and your wife, what's your wife's name?
Tracy.
Tracy. How long ago did your passion for distilling start?
Well, I guess the passion for spirits started quite a while ago. We opened the business, it'll be 2 years in December.
2 years in December, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, it looks like quite an operation over your right shoulder there. That's quite a building.
It is. We had a traditional New England timber frame barn built. I've always loved New England barns, and we knew we'd be spending a lot of time here, so we wanted to be in a space that we enjoyed.
Are you from that area? I mean,
I am. Yep.
Are you? Well, it looks beautiful. So I always like to ask, what in your heart of hearts, when you decide you're going to start throwing distilled products in oaken barrels, you know, I mean, that's a great adventure. How did you carve your path? Because on your website, you talk about organic everything, and that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, we are a fully organic distillery. So everything we make is certified organic with the USDA program. Being organic is important to us. We you know how it is. We make hooch, not health food, but we still think that less pesticides in the products is better than more. The passion for organics is largely about the relationship with the farmers. They're the ones who are really getting sick from using the synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. And until they have a market for organic products, they don't really have a choice. So we thought we could give them a market. I do like also the environmental impacts of organic farming. It's a much gentler approach and relationship with the land than a lot of conventional farming.
Yeah, and I agree. That's what LiveEcoStyle is all about. It's something I was taught by my grandfather from about the age of 5. He was a naturalist and way ahead of his time in having me under his arm through most of my life. And up in Wisconsin, he taught me quite a bit that always try to, if you could, not leave a footprint. And now as we go older, you know, it's trying to not leave a footprint behind us, trying to clean up the beach before we leave it is our sensibility. We've been all over the world in terms of, I used to be on a show many, many years ago called Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom with Marlon Perkins, and probably way before your time. You got to be over 45.
Oh, I remember that show fondly.
Well, yeah, I was the when Marlon would say, "Well, Jim fights the alligator, we'll talk to our friends at Mutual of Omaha." So I was the friend. I was the guy that was doing the commercials, and I worked with Mutual, loved the company, and loved Marlon. But he and his wife are very passionate about what their intentions were, even in a very simple program like that back in the 70s and the 80s. We had about 93% of America watching it every Sunday night, so it was a lot of fun. I haven't talked about that for a long time, but he was a great guy. And where are you located? Because I mean, the pictures you have on your website are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so we're in North Conway, which is right in the heart of the White Mountains. When we look to the north, we can see Mount Washington. It's a great place for people who enjoy the outdoors. Lots of hiking, rock climbing, river canoeing or rafting or kayaking as you prefer, cycling. It's just a great outdoor town. And it was really built as a ski town. So it's become a year-round destination for people who enjoy the outdoors.
All right, well, let's get to it. Let's talk about these organic products. I see on your website, I mean, you've got vodka that is there, and that's a great product. It's just beautiful labels and beautiful countryside. How are the colors? Are the colors still prevalent in New Hampshire, or are they pretty much gone for yet?
We're starting to lose them. We had some pretty heavy rain and wind at the end of last week, and that would have made us post peak at this point. But there's still some nice color outside. We're having a nice sunny day, and so it's still gorgeous out there.
You've got organic bourbon up there. If you've been in business for a couple of years, how long has that been aged? Where are you standing on that?
Yes, so the bourbon's coming along. We still call it a baby bourbon. We'll have straight bourbon to offer in January. Everything we produce has been produced in-house. We didn't source it all, and everything's being aged in 53-gallon barrels. So it's going to take a little time, but it's coming along nicely.
Nice. What are your favorite products? I mean, again, everybody's going to have to go to your website, but what are the favorites that people come by and routinely come back
Yeah,
for?
I get that question a lot, and I still don't have a good answer. I probably change my opinion as frequently as the weather changes here in the mountains. It is very weather dependent, and also just depends on how my day's going. I certainly enjoy the whiskeys. Our rye makes a fabulous Manhattan. If I'm looking for a sipper, I'll enjoy the bourbon, as young as it is. I've long been a fan of gin. We make 3 different gins, and that's been really rewarding to see that come to fruition. And we make a lot of vodkas. I guess you can see behind us there. We happen to have the state's tallest vodka column. It's a 22-footer, 16-plate system. So we get that in our pristine water. We get a really nice vodka, which we use we make a traditional grain-based vodka. We also do a number of infusions. We infuse it with wild Maine blueberries, ginger, horseradish, fig. We also we use our gold medal winning vodka as a base for our maple liqueur, and that's probably our most popular spirit in the tasting room. Here up in the Northeast, we have a lot of maple syrup produced locally. We have a great partner with a local sugar operation, and we're really pleased with the maple liqueur.
No, that is terrific. You and your wife both work full time now?
Full time, we aspire to only work full time. Yeah, we work a lot. It's as you know, launching a distillery is quite an undertaking, and so we're still doing the crazy 7-day a week. We do take Thanksgiving and Christmas off, so I'm looking forward to those coming up.
Well, I've visited a lot of them. I mean, our distillery channel is our other go-to big website that we have, and Rob, who you originally connected with, has visited with almost every distiller in America, and he's very, very well known. We call him Rob in the rear view, because if you ever see him in the rear view, find a cop, go pull over to the side and try not to let him catch you, because he's always begging for money. But he's a good guy and loved by all. But we've had a lot of fun from north to south, east to west, Maui to New York, Florida to up in Washington. All the great struggles of the great distillers, and you're all cut out of the same fabric. It's 7 days a week, and it's hard to believe you're just dripping the liquid into barrels and you have to work 7 days a week, but it's a big responsibility. It's hard work.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts to it. None of it's rocket science. It's just a lot of moving pieces, and it takes an awareness, listening to the building, listening to the pumps. It's a lot easier to fix a pump before it completely blows out. Just kind of having that sense of what's going on helps a lot.
What did you do before you became a distiller?
I was in financial services. I guess that's what drove me to drink. But I enjoyed it for a while.
24 years of Mutual of Omaha with all the licenses. I got one day, I just said, enough. I'm done. I'm going to go hit golf balls. So
yeah, I used to enjoy it, and then I just stopped enjoying it. And I said, well, I'm going to do something different. So
honestly, what happened was I was 24 years at Mutual, And my funeral budget, I started very young. I had a great career there. Love the company, great people. But my funeral budget, I became very close to my policy owners, and I had all the licenses for mutual funds and the whole 9 yards. And I couldn't break my heart anymore. I was seeing, I wanted to be an ostrich, go put my head in the sand and forget all these passages of time, slow it down a little bit and do something else. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy doing what I'm doing right now, talking to people like you. So what kind of fun are both you and your wife then work the sipping bar or tasting room or whatever you have?
Yeah, it's there's a little bit of divide and conquer. Tracy certainly does more in the front of the house than I do, and I do more production than she does. But we kind of we pitch in wherever we have to. I took a nasty fall on the ice last winter, and I physically wasn't able to do the production, and so Tracy took over and did a great job of it. So you have to just be flexible. I think that's probably the number one skill set of running a small craft distillery. There's a lot of different things to do. It doesn't really make sense to have 8 full-time people with specialty skills. You just have to be able to roll up your sleeves and tackle whatever needs addressing.
Who helped you with all your plumbing in the background?
The plumbing of the actual system, I mostly did myself.
Did you
we had
design
steam fitters. I did, yeah, for better or for worse. I visited not nearly as many as you, but scores of distilleries beforehand, and it's a collegial group of people, and learned a lot of things in that process. Borrowed a few good ideas from many folks, and we kind of put it all together. But did a lot of the plumbing myself just because I wanted to know the system like the back of my hand. We did have to have licensed steam fitters. We have a 1 million BTU boiler, and our mash tun and still are both steam jacketed. But all the cooling for the fermenters, that was all, we did all that internally.
Well, once again, give us your website. We're going to try to, reconnect. You're going to send us some great pictures to me to put in with this. So tell us your website again. And
yeah, it's Cathedral.
Stop by and visit.
CathedralEdgeDistillery.com. And we're right on Route 16 in North Conway, New Hampshire.
Well, the best to you and your wife, and I'll look forward. This is just sort of this is our tasting room on the Eco Minute. So I always go over. I never can keep it under the Eco Minute. I get tortured by my people, but since I'm president, it's okay. I got likable people. I can go for as long as I want. I just keep putting quarters in the computer. So it's all good. Christopher, it's a joy being with you. I'm glad we finally got hooked up today. And I'll look forward to your pictures, and we'll reconnect in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.